Hey y'all, it's Jody May. Welcome back for another week of What's for Dinner. I hope you guys are enjoying my content and the meals that I am showing you guys. And if you do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. I'm trying to show you guys some cheap, affordable, pretty easy to assemble meals. And I hope you guys enjoy them. And if you try them, let me know what you think in the comments below. But hey y'all, this is my kitchen. You guys can change any recipe up to tweak to your own family preferences. I hope you guys enjoy and stick around. Homemade Salisbury steak. I had quite a few people that seen this picture and wanted to know how to make them. So here we go, guys. Pretty easy, pretty simple. To start this off, all I did was put my Instant Pot on saute, put in a tablespoon of butter, and I put the pre-made hamburger patties. You can get these at Walmart or Kroger, either one, but they're already pre-made hamburger patties. You stick them in there frozen, or you can make your own, however you prefer. But me, I use the pre-made ones, and I put them in there frozen. I just want to brown them on each side, and then I take them out. I'm not going to cook them fully because they will go back in and they'll finish cooking later. Now you guys, I am using the Instant Pot. You guys can do this in a skillet or a crock pot, whichever, but you will need to brown your hamburger patties first, and then you'll mix all the rest of the ingredients. But the Instant Pot is just, it's like a one-pot wonder meal. I'm telling you, it's great. I can't promote it enough. I don't get sponsored for it. But I bought this when we downsized and we were going to be living in a camper, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't give it up for anything. Now once I get the hamburger patties brown on both sides, that's when I go ahead and add in the rest of the ingredients. The garlic, the minced onion, the brown gravy, the water, everything that you need. This here's where it goes in at. And then you just want to cook it down for maybe a minute just to get the garlic kind of, fragrant a little bit, and you want to start the process of getting everything a little brown. And you don't want to empty your pan, your skillet, your Instant Pot, whatever it is that you're going to use. You don't want to take out the little pieces on the bottom. You want to keep that in there because it does boost the flavor. Now, once I finally get all the gravy goodness out of these packs, which seems to take a long time, y'all, I show you the real deal. I'm not, I don't edit all the bad craziness that I end up doing because this is kind of how it rolls at my house. I am not a perfect cook. I am not a perfect person, and trust me, you see that in my videos. I show you the real deal. And here, all I'm going to do is scrape off the bottom of the pan where everything kind of got browned and coated on the bottom of the pan just to get that extra flavor in there. I'm going to put in all the hamburger patties, and then there is a piece of this video that for some reason it either didn't record or I lost the clip. But once I put them back in there, I put the lid on, I put the pressure cooker on 30 minutes on high, and there you have it, guys. It turned out perfect, and I just served it with some mashed potatoes and fried zucchini. For this dinner, we had BLT pasta salad. Thanks to the unmodern millennial, she gave me the idea for this dinner. You guys check her out. Y'all, I don't know how you guys cook your bacon, but I'm telling you, I prefer to put mine in the oven. I don't get popped with grease. I don't get burnt. I ain't got no issues. All I do is I just cut it up if I'm using it for something that needs crumbled bacon, or I just put it in there in slices. Here, all you're going to do is you're just going to chop up all your vegetables, set them to the side, and then here's where I mix up the sour cream, the mayonnaise, the mustard, all the little goodness that goes into the sauce. Now, after I've already put the water on to boil for the noodles, I do go ahead and mix up the sauce. Now, you guys, I am using mayonnaise. You guys can use Miracle Whip or whatever you prefer, but this is what I use this time. I have used Miracle Whip before. It's just as good. It's got a little bit more of a tang to it. So change it up, twist it up, however you guys prefer to do it. This here is just how I did it this day. Now, if you guys have a bigger family or a smaller family, you guys can truthfully adjust these portions down or up, however you need to do it. And then if you guys wanted to have it a little bit creamier sauce, you guys can add about a tablespoon or two of milk. And you guys, if you want it sweeter, you guys can add a tablespoon of sugar. It's however you guys prefer. Now here, all you're going to do is taste your sauce before you put it in there. If it's the way you want it, then add it into all of your vegetables and then just mix it up really good. Now, once the bacon was cooled off, you can chop it up to get it smaller bite-sized pieces, or you guys can leave it bigger to have it more coarse. You're going to drain and rinse your noodles to get them cooled off really good. Then once you have the bacon in there, go ahead and dump your noodles in there, mix it up really good, and then add your cheese, and oh my goodness, guys, it is so good. I hope you guys try it. And here it is plated up, guys. I truthfully hope you guys try this one because it's really good. For this dinner, we had bacon and pea salad with barbecue chicken sandwiches. Now, you guys, I had already previously cooked this bacon in the last clip as you've seen, and I just put some in the freezer. Now, with these peas, you guys, I did use frozen peas, and then I put this dish into the refrigerator for a couple hours, and it unthawed by itself. If you don't have time and you want to throw something together really quick, you can either rinse them in cold water until they unthaw and then add them in, or you can put them in the microwave for, just a couple of minutes on the defrost setting, just long enough to get them thawed out. Then you just mix in all your ingredients and you're ready to go. Now, you guys, here's another recipe that's definitely changeable to suit your own family's preferences. I use mayonnaise in this recipe as well. You guys can use Miracle Whip. You guys can add a teaspoon of sugar. You guys can add a couple teaspoons of milk to make it more creamy. However you want to do it. This is just how I've always made this recipe, and it is really good.
I found a star in you, always guiding me to where my words are true. I've waited 1,000,000 years before, and I do it all again.
And there it is plated up with some barbecue chicken sandwiches on the side. For this dinner, we had cheesy meatloaf. Now, I'm showing you guys the clip of that cheese just because I did not have Monterey Jack on hand, and that's just showing you guys can change up these recipes. The normal recipe that I would make would be for the Monterey Jack to be on top and to have some kind of a red sauce on the top of my meatloaf when I go to make it. But like I said, I didn't have any of that specific cheese, so I just used the mozzarella instead. I also didn't have all the vegetables that I would normally put into my meatloaf. So that just goes to show you can change this recipe any way you want to add it to your own family table. Now here, I'm just going to go ahead and add my eggs, my spices, my Parmesan dried cheese, my breadcrumbs, my salt and pepper, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to mix that. If I had those sauteed vegetables, that's when I would go ahead and add them now. Go ahead and mix this up. That way when you put your hamburger in there, all the seasonings and everything is already mixed, and it actually combines with the hamburger a lot better. For a meatloaf, you really don't want to over mix it because it makes it more firm and kind of thick. So for me, I like to have mine a little bit more juicy and a little bit more airy. Now, once I've added the hamburger in there, I'm just going to break it up a little bit. I'm not going to smash it too much just because I don't want it to be smashed. So here I'm just going to go ahead and roll it, kind of twist it, kind of pinch it off a little bit just to get it combined really well. And then I'll go ahead and shape it into the pan. I do pre-spray my pans just so they don't stick very well. And then I will bake it at 350 degrees for about 1 hour. Now, once it's baked for about an hour, I do take it out, I drain off the grease, and then that's when you would put on your red sauce and then top it with the cheese, put it back in the oven for about another 15 to 20 minutes. You guys, it turned out really good. I hope you try it. It was really amazing. And then I just served it with some mashed potatoes and green beans. For this dinner, we had Wendy's Copycat Chili. For this dinner, I'm also going to use my Instapot. It's amazing, guys. If you haven't got one, you really do need to get one. All I did is I put it on saute. I'm going to get my hamburger in there. I'm going to get it good and browned up. And then I'm going to start adding in all the yumminess.
Maybe I could have seen it all coming, that I wouldn't grow wiser for each day.
Now for this recipe, I did use the 80/20 ground beef. That just gives it a little bit more flavor with not too much grease. So here I'm going to go ahead and add in my minced onion, all my seasoning, my garlic, and I'm going to let that cook down while I'm adding in all the other seasonings. That way, if you add in the garlic too early, it will scorch and it will definitely not taste good. Trust me, I've done it before and I learned from my own mistake. So here I'm just going to go ahead and add in all the little goodies and get them cooking. Now, if you guys ain't noticed, I don't do a lot of measuring. Like I kind of eyeball it. When you're doing this kind of thing, you know, you just roll with it like I do, then we're good to go. If you need the measurements, I did add them in the very beginning. Now here, I did not get this in the clip. I did add about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, and then I added in the vegetables and I cooked them down. I got the vegetables a little bit sauteed until they were starting to get really soft, and then I go ahead and I drained my beans, and then I added in the tomato sauce, the tomatoes, all the beans, and then here I added in about 3/4 of the quart of this tomato juice. I did not use the whole container. To me, it would have just been a little bit too soupy, and I like to have my chili a little bit more thick. So if you guys want it soupier, you guys can definitely add the rest of the tomato juice or save it for another meal. Now once I got everything in there, I got it mixed up really good. I put the lid on it, put it to seal, put it on bean and chili, and then I went ahead and put it for 1 hour. It would be on low pressure, and I let it go. And there's what it looked like after 1 hour, guys. All you got to do is just top this with some cheese, some crackers, or whatever else that you guys might want to put on it. You guys can even add jalapeno to this. That would be good too. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments below. You guys have a great day.